Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cold War Barbecue. Been a lot of traction lately on the Expert Grill Heavy Duty video that we did, gosh, almost a year ago now. Kind of our, unboxing, assembly, review, that sort of thing. And I wanted to kind of revisit this grill and talk about what it's been like to live with it for the past year. Well, hello and welcome to Cold War Barbecue. As mentioned, I wanted to kind of go over what it's been like to live with the Expert Grill Heavy Duty for the last, been about a year now, I think just shy of a year. Uh, of course, this is not my daily driver per se. Uh, when you're doing a lot of barbecue, you're using much bigger smokers. Um, but as far as grilling goes, I would say I have been bouncing back and forth between this and my Weber kettle almost equally for the most part. And I've done some cool stuff on this, a lot of which didn't make a video. Uh, why didn't it make a video? Well, so during the winter, I barbecue in general is not in real high demand from a catering perspective, so it's kind of off months for that. Uh, I have a day job that has nothing to do with barbecue or YouTube or anything like that, and that job is very, very busy during that time of year, right? So, as you've seen, the quantity of videos has been much lower, uh, and that I notice is a trend, just kind of across barbecue channels, on YouTube. Of course, I watch lots of other channels. I'm sure you guys do too. There are a lot of great people out there, every day telling us about the grills or smokers or things like that that they are using or sharing recipes, those sorts of things. It's a great community. It really is. But for the most part, I notice a lot of those YouTubers do slow down the winter months. Some of the bigger ones, continue a more regular release cadence, but a lot of us kind of slow down because it's not the forefront of a lot of people's mind. It's winter, grilling, although, occasionally you get a nice day and you could do it. Uh, it's not anywhere near as popular as it is, say, this time of year. Right now, we're at the beginning of May. Memorial Day is coming up, and everybody's got grilling on the mind, right? You get a few nice days, especially you get a nice weekend. It's time to grill. I think on this one, there's been a huge uptick in views on that previous Expert Grill video, and I think it's because people are getting ready to buy a grill for grilling season, and well, these are cheap, right? I think they're even on sale maybe right now, so maybe even $20 or something lower than when I picked it up. That's great. Uh, so, so I'm going to break this down into a couple different sections. We're going to talk about, you know, ultimately, what has it been like to run this? Have I noticed any new problems I didn't notice initially? We're going to talk about some of the stuff that I've cooked on it, and then we're going to go into kind of the care and feeding of it, the maintenance side of things, and whether I've noticed any issues there. And finally, just kind of going to sum up, whether it's still a good value play or a good option for the money. So, as far as the day-to-day stuff and kind of what we have noticed on it, got to be honest. I mean, it's performing just like it did that the first couple videos we did the intro or the review, and then we also cooked a pork loin on it. Uh, no complaints there whatsoever. It's a champ. It continues to perform. It continues to produce good food. Um, I notice that it is a bit of a dust magnet. You can maybe see that a little bit on the video. It does stay under a covered patio. It's not getting, rained on or anything like that, but just dust blowing around the air. It sticks to it. I tried to spray it off, tried to wipe it down. didn't really matter. It's just got like a fine grain of dust on it. Probably will take some sort of an actual cleaning solution to it when I'm not, currently cooking on it. Not a good time to clean while you're cooking. Wouldn't recommend it. So, I mean, there's not really been any breakdowns as far as the basic stuff here, right? The movable fire platform, if you will, still working great. And I haven't noticed anything through a wide variety of cooks that I would say it was contrary to what we talked about in the initial video. So thumbs up there. As far as other things that we have cooked, so I've done an awful lot on this throughout the course of the winter. Part of that is where it sits, it's pretty well sheltered from the wind, and there's a lot of cook space on it. And I mean, it was my go-to for a good chunk of at least the early part of the winter, January through beginning of March. So it, sit under there, I go fire it up and ready to cook. I didn't do too many steaks or things like that on here. I did do a prime rib for Christmas, and I cooked it on here, low and slow, and with a little bit of pecan smoke. Turned out awesome, absolutely awesome. Now, that one, I say low and slow. A lot of people don't like their prime rib well done, which is where you'd cook like a brisket. So you're kind of shooting more for rare to medium rare. I think we did medium rare on ours, but it turned out fantastic. I mean, just, rave reviews, whatever. And so if you want to do something like that, this grill will definitely treat you right. I've done a ton of pork chops on this. I've done some whole chickens, and then various, legs and thighs, things like that, barbecue chicken. I mean, all of it. All of it has been great. And we've seen in the comments, and I think a lot of people agree, generally my philosophy is it's not the grill or the smoker, but it's the pit master, right? It's the person running it. And once you have a certain degree of experience, you're going to have good luck, I think, unless this thing is just positioned against you, unless it has fundamental flaws or something that just cause major issues. For instance, if it had massive airflow problems where a fire either choked off very quickly, or to where it was too leaky, right? There's way too much airflow in there, and so the fire is always hot. Might work as a grill then, but low and slow, not going to happen. With everything that we've cooked, the prime rib and the chickens, I think, are most notable. We were trying to get some smoke on these things, but then we were stomping them at, a lower temperature than regular barbecue, 135 or something for prime rib, and pulling the chicken about 160. Ended up with some very juicy birds, very, very juicy prime rib. So, I mean, it's been great. It's been great, and this thing will definitely cook a wide range of food without any issues. Getting into the care and feeding, as we'll call it here, basically the everyday, or well, every month maintenance, those sorts of things. There were complaints. I don't remember if they were on the comments or just people I talked to directly that had this grill about the ash clean out. And I kind of get it. So there is an ash pan at the very bottom of this that the ashes fall through the cooking platform and land on this. And of course, once everything's cool, you should slide that pan out, dump it out, that sort of thing. The problem is, unless you do that very, very frequently, what you'll notice is that ashes will build up to such a point in there that as you pull the ash pan out, it starts to kind of push ashes back and ultimately could make them fall all over the bottom of the grill. So frequent cleanouts are advised. And I'll be honest, I'd advise that with pretty much any grill. I mean, those ashes get to be caustic. They'll eat through metal. Not seeing that at all on this right now. I do try to keep it cleaned out, but I did have that happen one time to where I'd done a cook. It was very cold out, didn't clean it out at that point in time. And then I think the next week did another cook. And before the third cook, I'm like, oh, well, I forgot. I need to clean the ash thing out. So I try to pull it back, and they're starting to scoot and dump out the back. Not fun. So ultimately, I mean, it's very easy to get to everything here. You just move the cooking platform as high up as it'll go and take a small shovel, fireplace shovel, those sorts of things. I'm a big fan of the little, I think they call it a coal shovel. It's a real small one, but pretty wide blade on it. And I clean it out until I've got that ash level down low enough that I can slide it out and dump it out. Another kind of sort of issue though with that, if you are attempting to clean that out and it is windy, which during the winter it always is here, that's messy. That's very messy. There's nothing to shield those ashes from blowing around when you pull it out, so you gotta wait for a day that's a little calmer. I'll be honest, I think that's the only mechanical complaint that I have with this. Everything else has held up well. I was a little worried that like the firebox door or the cooking platform, the way it moves up and down, right, on cranks, I was worried it was going to get clogged up, or that it would develop some sort of mechanical problem, break, whatever. No problems at all. I mean, it's still rock solid. Doesn't show any signs of corrosion or rust or anything like that. So a year in, all of that looks good. And nothing really else to report on that front. So the last part, would I still recommend this if it's your first grill experience, or maybe to replace a grill that fell apart in the line of duty? Yes, I absolutely would, without any reservations at this point. This has been a fantastic grill. It's done everything I've asked and more. We're currently slow smoking a pork butt on it, and it's running in like a champ. So no complaints there either. Take care of the grill and it'll take care of you. For the price, I still contend this is a fantastic grill. It's very versatile. It's very inexpensive. The assembly was a little bit of a pain, but it always is. I mean, you're not gonna find a whole lot of differences there. I think the Webers maybe are a little easier, right? I mean, they go up kind of like the pop-up tents, right? 4 steps and you're done. This one's got more steps, but once it's put together, I mean, I haven't had screws loosening or anything like that. That's all been rock solid. And again, just the versatility and the price on this grill still make it a very, very compelling option. So without any reservations whatsoever, I would say yes, buy the grill. And we're certainly not sponsored by Expert Grill. I don't even know if Expert Grill is a real brand, right? I think it's a Walmart product, and it's probably just some white box type brand that Walmart sells. So there's no corporate entity or anything behind it as far as marketing goes. It's just, I mean, it's just a great little grill for the price you pay. And these days, that's getting to be a rare thing. Not just with grills, right? But with all sorts of stuff. You buy something and maybe it works good the first time, and then it falls apart relatively quickly and you buy another one. In this case, my thought was, well, if that happens and it only lasts a year, you got a problem, because the Weber costs more, I think $50 more or something at that time. But I know the Webers last. This Weber has lasted me many years. Webers in general have a reputation for longevity. So the value proposition's maybe not great if it fell apart after year one. My thought now is you could save money at the beginning, buy yourself some more meat for a cookout, right? Because a lot of people are probably looking at this for one event in particular, Memorial Day, July 4th, whatever. So you buy more meat. You still get a great grill. You can use it throughout the year. Thus far, based on year 1 performance, I don't anticipate it falling apart in year 2. My thought is if this lasts 5 years, more or less the same way it's lasted the first year, and then you have to buy something new, I'd say that's still a pretty good value proposition. At that point, maybe you wanted to upgrade anyway, but certainly 5 years for, I think what's right now about $100, that's $20 a year for a grill. Not bad at all. So yeah, can't recommend it highly enough. We're gonna be doing more cooks on this on video here in the near future. Matter of fact, we'll have this pork butt video up as well, and hopefully can share some tips and tricks to get the best meat out of this for your cookouts. So stay tuned for that. We're really looking forward to sharing that with you. What questions do you have about this grill or grilling in general, right? Tips and tricks, as I mentioned, how it performs with certain cuts of meat, those sorts of things. What do you want to know? We can either talk about it in the comments, or we can do another video to kind of clarify or show you how to cook a particular item. Share your thoughts, share your questions in the comments. And if you enjoyed this and you found this useful, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. That helps us out a ton, right? It really gets us out there to help more people with this choice, right? And share it to a friend. Let them see it. I think when we talk about very low budget grilling items to get more people into that, get more people outdoors cooking, those sorts of things, that's a win for everybody, right? And I'll further say, again, I already have a day job. I already have a catering side gig. YouTube is not a big money maker or anything for us. It's really just more of a helpful tool, right? To show people what they can do on a low budget to help people, kind of hone their craft, maybe get people into barbecue for the first time. It's a passion. That's really what it comes down to. So, a like, a subscribe, a share, all of those help immensely in getting us out there and hopefully helping more people. We appreciate you sticking around, and thank you again for joining us. Until next time, this has been Cold War Barbecue.